Hey guys, it's oh boy, it has been a hot minute since I've seen you guys. This is crazy. Um, Very weird. You probably noticed the whole name change, everything. This is probably the last time I'm going to do this for a while, or like hopefully ever. If you're wondering what happened, um, it's a long story. I'll do a whole nother video on that. But for right now, I'm going to do something that makes absolutely no sense, or some sense, depending on the way you see it. And I'm going to play test a deck because I'm bored and I have nothing else to do while doing this little rant slash review. Um, and also, this is kind of sort of like last minute kind of thing. I was planning on doing something else, couldn't get it all organized and ready to go. I was planning on doing Project X, but then work just got in the way, so I figured I can do something last minute that is also both exciting and easy. Well, it's not going to be easy for me, but it'll be easy for you guys at least. And I'm going to be going over Borderlands 3. The game's been out for about 24 hours by now. By the time you see this, the game's been out for 24 hours or more. But for me, in about 4 minutes, the game will have been out for 24 hours. Which I guess that would be the case for the rest of you. Wow, I'm so stupid. Anyways, moving on. I'm going to give you guys my take on Borderlands 3 after playing the game for a while. And quick heads up, there are spoilers for the game. I'm not super far into the game. I'm actually just reached level 20. I actually just got to a certain part in the game that I'm not going to say just yet. But there are spoilers for the game. For the first few hours of the game, there will be spoilers. So if you do not want spoilers, now is your chance to leave the video. This video is going to trigger some people. Blast me in the comments all you want. I do not care. If you blast me to the point where I think it's like, if I think you blasting me is justified and you keep it civil, you're fine. But if you blast me and it's the most uncivil BS, you're never gonna see the light of day in my comment section. I'm sorry. So try to keep it civil is all I ask. In case you're wondering what this is, you'll see what this is when looking through my graveyard or my library. It's a weird little deck. But anyways, without further ado, I guess we should get started with the review, shouldn't we? Um, Now's your chance to leave. Okay, like final call to leave. I can't stress this enough. There's going to be loads and loads of spoilers throughout this video. So this is your final warning to leave while you still can. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, I'm very pissed off at Borderlands 3, and I haven't even gotten through the entire game. I'm probably not even halfway through the game, and I'm very pissed off. In the reason why I'm pissed off is very justified once you hear me out. So just hear me out, and you'll understand why I'm pissed off. Before you go ahead and blast me in the comments, you'll understand. So the first few minutes of the game are honestly great. It sets the mood, it sets the stage of the game, kind of like all the other games have always done. You know, it does their little cute little intro, introducing the characters. You get some laughs out of the intro. The intro is fun and lighthearted. You know, classic fucking Borderlands. You know, the intro is great. Um, I really have no complaints about the intro of the game. I have no complaints about the first few hours of the game necessarily. You know, the game does feel very grindy. I'm going to admit that. The game feels very, very grindy. Like, obviously it's Borderlands, you have to grind, but it feels like more of a grind than the first game, and the first game was grindy as all hell. Now, the main antagonists, I'm not gonna lie, these guys are honest to God the worst. Like, these guys are worse than Handsome Jack. Like, Handsome Jack, he was a good villain, and you hated him for that because he was such a good villain. These guys are. That's why I say Handsome Jack is so bad. He was so bad because he was so good at his job. In a way, I guess. Like, he was an egotistical dick, but he was so good at his job. Like, he was able to be an egotistical dick. He was able to, do his job at a few points. Now, these guys, what are they fucking called? The Calypso twins, or whatever the fuck they're called. I don't know what they're called, and I'm gonna be honest, I really don't care. These guys are just, honest to God, the worst. They're genuinely the worst. I'm not saying that as in, like, oh, they're awful, no, like, you guys are actually just downright terrible as villains. Their character development is disgusting. Their whole purpose is disgusting. Their goal is, it's cringe. The way me and my friends describe it, it's cringe normie shit. Okay? They're essentially YouTubers that are using their popularity to take over the universe. Essentially, the best way I can describe this. That's what they are. They're YouTubers using their power to take control of the universe. And if I'm gonna be honest with you, that concept is fucking brilliant. If done correctly. It's not done correctly in this game. It's really not done correctly in this game at all. And here's why I think it's not done correctly. Again, they're just cringy about it. Like, what's that one line that the one bitch always keeps saying? Like, share, and obey, or something like that. Like, that shit is just so annoying every time she fucking says it. And she says it so many damn times. It's cringy. They're just cringy villains, is what they are. They play into the whole I'm famous so I can get away with shit kind of concept. And I honestly, I think it's a genius concept if it's done correctly, but it's not done correctly at all in this game. In fact, I would even argue that it's so bad in this game that I'm sure other games could do it and get away with it. Because, like, the bar, they honestly set the bar so low. They really did. The bar is just set so low with the villains. And so, in short, I really just do not like the villains in the game. The villains are just really bad. They're generic. And again, they're very, very, very cringy. And they play into the whole I'm famous so I can get away with whatever I want concept. Now, with all that aside, the character development in the game, as far as I've gotten, has been solid, except for one character, but we're going to get to that person later. And that's where the pissed off rant part comes into play. And my review is not going to be super biased. If you're a friend of mine IRL, you know why I'm saying that. If you're not, the explanation will cover everything. And I'm going to give one last warning for spoilers, in case people didn't think I was serious about that. So, again, the character development so far has been pretty solid. I've only touched the Siren, and I can tell you, the Siren is fantastic. If you're looking for a character that plays kind of like the Psycho from Borderlands 2, play the Siren. The Siren is fun as hell. The Siren actually makes me want to go back to Borderlands 2 and play the Psycho. The Siren is just so much fun. I'm not exaggerating. The Siren is fun as hell. Now, with that being said, the skill trees are also, like, the skill tree mechanics has just been brilliant. I will say that. There's a lot of stuff, though. It's some of it's unnecessary, some of it's necessary, but there's just so much stuff. there's just I feel like there's a bit more than Borderlands 2, and when I say that, I mean like some of the skills are like duplicates of each other in a way. And I don't mind that to a certain degree, but you gotta think that there's such thing as too much overlap. Hopefully you guys understand what I'm trying to say. So let's see, that's one, two, okay. Oh, sweet. Okay. That's how that works, I think, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to switch to a different deck. But anyways, moving on. So, there's just been, like, I don't know. With the whole skill tree thing, there's just been, like, this thought in my head that, like, there's just a lot of overlap. And it's unnecessary overlap. Like, some of the skills feel like skills that I just unlocked from the tier above. Like, okay. I don't know, but that's really not super important, I guess. I don't know. To some people, it's important. To me, it's not really, really, really important. Only because, let's be honest, I'm having fun with the game. The gameplay is super fun. That's basically, I guess, what I'm trying to say. The words that I'm trying to get out of my mouth is that the gameplay is super fun. However, the story. I have a lot of things to say about the story. And this is where I'm going to give my one last warning. My final warning. That now is your time to leave the video if you do not want massive spoilers. Because this is going to be probably the biggest spoiler I'm going to tell if you haven't touched the game. At least so far. From what I've seen. And this pains me. And you're going to see why it pains me as I explain it. And the way I'm going to explain it is I'm going to explain it in a way that is as neutral as possible. But there's nothing neutral about this. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so you get to this one planet. And I have to give this background. It's called like Athenas or something like that. And you meet up with Maya. Pretty fucking sweet. And then you meet up with this other person, this little girl named Ava. And she's like Maya's apprentice and blah blah blah. You play through the game. I'm not going to explain all that too much. But basically, there's one point where you get to a vault. You open the vault, and this one boss battle, you fight this boss battle. It's an annoying-ass little boss battle. I think it's called, like, the Rampager or something like that. I totally forgot. I just fought him, like, 20 minutes ago. But it's a pain in the ass. You kill it. You get a bunch of iridium and shitty weapons. Cool. You come back out. Maya fucking dies. The fucking main villains kill her off. Now, there's two reasons this pisses me off. One, she's my favorite character of all fucking time. Gone. Okay, there's 3 reasons. 2, she was very underused in the second game and very, very underused in this game. Now she's gone. Way to kill off a character like that. Like, killing off a character that hasn't been very well fucking used in the first few hours of the fucking game is a little unnecessary. Like, taking away Lilith's powers as a plot device is fucking solid. Because that means the leader is now weak. The leader can't, like, carry the team anymore. Like, she has to rely on her soldiers to fight this war. She can't just fight this war on her own. Okay, that makes sense. But killing off Maya for the sake of a fucking plot device makes absolutely no fucking sense. Because I know where this is leading up to. Because it's teased earlier in the game that Ava is supposed to be a siren in the future. Like, she's eventually going to become a siren. It is teased. Maya says it straight up, like, this bitch is going to become a siren. So, if my theory is fucking correct, she's going to become a siren by the end of the fucking game. Which, yay for her, but here is my issue. You just kill off a character, so this little girl can become a fucking siren. You killed off a very underused character to develop a character that is either you have sympathy for or you completely fucking hate. I'm on the side where I completely hate her. There's one point in the game though where she had a point because she basically blasts Lilith for Maya being dead. Like Lilith is like, doing the whole, we need to keep fighting, we need to keep opening vaults and just blah 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 blah. And then Ava says, the reason why Maya's dead is because you want to open more vaults. Like, are you fucking kidding me? And okay, I agree with that 100%. Like at this point. This is where I'm like, okay, yeah, you have a point. But I still fucking hate you because in terms of gameplay, the reason why Maya is dead is because if my theory is correct, you're going to be a fucking siren by the end of the game. And I have no sympathy for you. And the biggest reason why I don't have any sympathy, well, two big reasons. One, you're fucking annoying. I cannot fucking stand you. I can't say you're the most annoying character ever. She's not the most annoying character ever, if I'm being real fucking honest. But a big reason why I can't fucking stand Ava. A huge reason why I can't stand her, besides the fact that she's annoying, is that there is one mission where you get to learn more about her. Essentially, like, she left her stuff at home and you gotta go grab it. So you'll learn more about her. That's sweet. Honestly. But, like, the more you learn about her, the more you kind of hate her, if you get what I'm trying to say. Like, basically you learn that, her story is the typical, lost my family, living on my own, someone takes me under their wing and trains me kind of story. And I'm going to be honest, I've gotten a little sick of that fucking story. That plot device has been overused so much. Just way too much has that been used. Now, it's been used effectively a lot. But, like, came from nothing and all of a sudden I'm a big shot kind of plot device. That thing can be used effectively when telling a story, but here it's just it's predictable. If it's predictable, it's not being used correctly. Because again, my theory is that either Ava's going to become a siren or she's also going to be killed off, and then it was all for nothing. I don't think that they're going to be killed off, personally, but like, part of me wants it to happen, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That's the best way I can really, honest to God, describe the downside to the game. The other big downside of the game is that a very underused character, who happens to be my favorite, is now dead just to build another character, which has so far been very underutilized as well. Again, I'm not super far into the game, but from what I've seen so far, Ava's also been very underutilized, and it pisses me off, because it's like, you just killed off a character, and now this character's being very underutilized, and I'm supposed to feel sympathy for them? Like, no, I don't. I really, really can't say I feel sympathy for them. In fact, I feel more hatred. And this is a point that one of my best friends pointed out, and he hasn't even played the game yet, but we all told him about it, and he pointed this out. You just killed her. Okay, cool. But here's the thing. He said that if he was Ava in that situation, he would have kept his mouth shut because Maya wouldn't be fucking dead. And that's just it. The game is predictable. And it's like, oh, well, if I was in their shoes, I wouldn't have done it. But you can kind of see it coming, because, again, these plot devices have been overused. Like, when you saw the little standoff, like, when you saw Lilith get her powers taken away, You knew from the fucking beginning that these guys were to be fucking somewhat unstoppable. And it was laughable to even try to stop them. And then now all of a sudden you see fucking these guys having a standoff. You kind of saw it coming that, when she opened her fucking mouth up and there's a standoff. Like, oh, okay, someone's going to die. I wonder who it's going to be. The game's predictable, and it uses plot devices that have been so overused that, again, the game just becomes predictable as the game moves on. And I get it. There's only so many plot devices you can use in storytelling to make a good story. I understand that. As someone that is currently writing a book, I understand that. As someone that's aspiring to be a writer, I understand that there's only so much you can do to tell a story. But when you're using a plot device that is not only super overused, and your story is predictable, but then you continue to use it, like, you would think that you would see that, hey, maybe we should stop doing this, because eventually people, like our players, are going to see through our bullshit. Now, to someone that's new to Borderlands, someone that has not touched 2 or pre-sequel or the first game, first of all, if you haven't touched the first few games and you're just jumping into Borderlands 3, you need to play the other games. You need to at least play 1, 2, and pre-sequel. I don't count Tales from the Borderlands as much as everyone's like, oh, but it was good storytelling. Like, yeah, it was good storytelling. Talk to me when, the game is, good storytelling, but the gameplay is also good. And that's just it. There needs to be a balance between good gameplay and good story. Borderlands 3's gameplay is really good, but the story is a really crushing blow to its charm. And the thing is about Borderlands is that it's able to not only tell let's take the second game, for example. It's able to tell a really good story, really effectively, despite the fact that the game does get a little bit predictable as the game goes on. It suffers from that too, but you get invested into the story because you hate the villain, and you actually get a reason to hate the villain. You get a reason to hate Handsome Jack and Hyperion. Like, he actually gives you a reason. You don't have to, keep searching for a reason, or the reason being, in the case of, Borderlands 3, these guys are just fucking annoying. I can't wait to put a bullet in their brains. The thing was with Jack is not only he's annoying and you can't wait to put a bullet through his brain, he gives you reasons to hate him. He keeps, taunting you, and, he basically throws everything he's got at you, and he fights to the bitter end. It's to the point where he's even in defeat, he's still trying to break you down. Whereas these two idiots are they're just annoying. They taunt you, yeah, but it's childish, nah, 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 kind of thing. Ha 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 ha, you can't beat us, despite the fact that, you've kind of been through a lot already. And again, you just can't wait to put a bullet through their brain because they're annoying. That's my big issue with Borderlands 3. The villains are unlikable because they're annoying, whereas Handsome Jack was unlikable because of his charm and because of his ego, his well-deserved ego, might I add. He went as far as waking up the warrior. He was almost victorious. He almost got what he wanted, and these guys are just using their YouTube channel essentially for, to manipulate the world. I don't see. The only reason why I hate these guys is because they're annoying. They remind me of YouTubers that do the same thing, minus the world domination thing. Well, in this case, universal domination, but you get the idea. I don't get that vibe with Handsome Jack. With Handsome Jack, I get the vibe of, this motherfucker wants revenge. Not only does he want revenge, but he feels like he's the good guy. Like, he feels like he's in the right. He feels like what he's doing is right. Whereas these guys, they kind of know they're assholes. But but their popularity says, well, we get to be assholes because we're popular. Like, if that's the reason why you're evil, that's lazy storytelling. I hate to break it to you, but that's just lazy. Like, oh, we're popular, so we get to be these dickheads. Because we can be dickheads all we want. These people will still love us. I truly don't understand that. And they're not, the main villains, they're not charming. Like, I get they're siblings, but they fucking, and like, so they're supposed to fight like their siblings. But like, their bickering even gets in the way of the story a lot. Because they tend to bicker a lot, and it gets in the way of the story so much. And that's another huge issue I have with the game, is if one piece of storytelling gets in the way of the entire story, you just lose interest. Like, I'm not super invested in the story of Borderlands 3. I'm more invested in the gameplay. And when I play a game for the story. When I beat Final Fantasy 13 and Final Fantasy 13 2, and I started Lightning Returns, I was invested in the story. I would, like, shut my door, turn off my music. I wouldn't even speak to any of my friends. I would silence my phone when I'm playing Final Fantasy 13, 13 2, and Lightning Returns. Because I want to hear the story. I want to hear every little sound, every word that every character is saying. I get invested in the story. The storytelling is beautiful in those games, despite the fact that it also suffers from being a little bit predictable at times. But, like, we'll take 13-2 for an example. Did not see it coming that Sarah was gonna die in the end. Totally did not see that coming. Her dying in the end absolutely fucking broke my heart and shocked me. Did not see that coming. I did not predict that at all. I figured if anyone was gonna die, it was gonna be Noel or Lightning. I was praying to God it wasn't gonna be Lightning, to be honest. I did not see it coming at all that Sarah was gonna just gone. And that's just it. Using shock value like that, like, is brilliant. Like, you think, oh, this guy's gonna die, this person's gonna die, this chick's gonna die, this person's gonna die. Nope, left hook, and this person's dead. Huh? Care about the most. The main character. Just ripped from your hands when you least expect it. That was beautiful storytelling on the side of 13-2. Now, okay, Borderlands 3 pretty much already did that, but they did that very poorly. But let's say Borderlands 3, they kill off Lilith. Everyone's been speculating that Lilith was gonna die. So if Lilith dies in the end of the game, it wouldn't shock anyone that I know. Sure as hell wouldn't shock any of my friends. Sure as hell wouldn't shock me. I don't think anyone, if Lilith died in the end of Borderlands 3, I don't think it would shock many people, because most people are, like, predicting it, myself included. We're like, yeah, Lilith's probably gonna die. She's, because, I mean, it was kind of basically fed to us that she was gonna lose her powers. So in my head, I'm thinking, like, yeah, she's gonna die. This is it for her. Now, I will say this. It was a bit of a left hook that Maya's dead, but the way they killed her off was just so poor. Like, honestly, if I had it my way, she would never die. But that's me being biased. But I think if I was in Gearbox's shoes and I was going to kill her off, I would have killed her off in a way that would have made her look strong and Ava look, I wouldn't necessarily say weak, but, like, it would give us a reason to care about her more. Because I still don't care about her. Like, yeah, the person that, took you under their wing and trained you, is now gone. And I'm supposed to feel bad for you, but I don't. And the reason why I don't feel bad for you is because of what I know about you. And, like, I get it. It's kind of sort of supposed to be like a redemption story behind it as well. It's like, yeah, she was a thief and all this other stuff, and she, trying to redeem herself. And I understand that it's kind of sort of supposed to be a redemption story for her, but, like, I don't. I don't feel any sympathy. I don't care. Because knowing all of this, it's like, well, first of all, once a thief, always a thief. Once an asshole, always an asshole. It's like these people took you under their wing and you're disrespecting them. That's a little too much. No, not Misty Rainforest. I haven't played Modern in so long. I don't remember what these lands are called anymore. Okay, cut me some slack. Breeding pool, that's what I want. But, again, that's just how I feel about Ava as the character. But enough ranting about Ava and Maya and all that. It's just, again, overall, the storytelling is really bad. I think, as far as I've gotten, right now, I actually just met Jacobs. Whatever that, I forgot what his first name was, but I just met Jacobs. Actually, no, a lot farther than that. Actually, I met Brick. I'm with Brick right now. We were doing something. I met Brick, and then okay, I know where I am. I actually just met Tina. That's where I am. I just met Tina, and that's where I stopped. So I just met Tina. That's how far I am right now. So as of right now, where I want to put Borderlands 3, out of a 5-star rating, I'm gonna have to say, without being super biased about the fact that my favorite character in Borderlands of all time is now dead. So without taking that into account, because if I was taking that into account, I would instantly put this game at a 1 out of 5. But throwing that, basically, without being super biased, the best rating I can give Borderlands 3 is a 3.5 out of 5 right now. Because, and there's multiple reasonings behind why I'm not giving the game a 3.5, and I don't want to give it a 3, because again, the gameplay is solid. The gameplay is fantastic. I talked a lot of shit about the game, but the gameplay is so good. The gameplay is fantastic. Everything feels smooth. The combat feels really good. The gameplay is nice. The game is just overall, just, again, it's solid. The gameplay is really, really, really good. I can't. I really have no complaints about the gameplay. The gameplay is just fantastic. If I'm being honest, the gameplay is fantastic. My big issue is, again, the story. A lot of people don't just play games for the gameplay. A lot of people like to play games for the story. Again, me with Final Fantasy, I played those games for the gameplay and the story. I got really good gameplay and really good story. Granted, I almost burned my entire house down beating Final Fantasy 13 and almost broke my hand beating 13-2. I thoroughly enjoyed those games. Again, because of the gameplay and the story. In case you didn't know where the whole naming and everything came from, now you know. But another example. We'll step away from Final Fantasy and I'll give you another example. An example that relates to Borderlands. Borderlands 2. Great story, great gameplay. What happened between 2 and even pre-sequel. The gameplay was decent. The gameplay was pretty good. It was serviceable for a Borderlands game. It was serviceable. The story was pretty good as well. I was invested in the story. I really was. I'm not one of those people that are like, oh, the game was awful. It was gross. It was such a bad game. Like, there are people that actually really hate that game. I actually liked that game. That game was fun. The story was good. The gameplay was good. My complaint about um Borderlands 3 is just, besides, the story being really bad, is that a lot of the characters are very unlikable. Like, a lot of the characters you used to like from 2, you kind of got to scratch your head. Like, I used to really like Lilith. But if I was keeping a track of every time she's called me killer throughout the entire game, it's gotten to the point where I can't stand it when anyone says the word killer. Also, her character model looks so bad. Like, her character model, I don't know what happened. Like, she looks like she got, like, Botox just pumped into her face. She looks so bad. I don't know. Like, she used to be my second favorite. Now all of a sudden she's at the point where it's like, if she dies, I won't care. Like, really, if she dies, I won't care. And I don't know, like, there are some characters that are like, eh. Like, they're pretty good in Borderlands 2, and that's when you just fall in love with them even, or like, let's say you were in love with them in 2, you're even more in love with them. Zero. I thought Zero was pretty cool in Borderlands 2. He's crazy insane in fucking this game. You love him in this game. He's an absolute beast in this game. A Brick, he hasn't changed one bit, but damn, he's really cool. Brick's one of my favorite characters as well. But just some characters easily also get ruined. Ellie's gotten a bit more charming, but she's still about the same, really. If I'm being honest. Moxie is... I'm gonna be honest, and without using a certain word that starts with an S and ends in a T, it rhymes with mutt. There's that kind of persona that Moxie plays can only go so far. And I think it's gone a little too far in this game. It honestly has gone a little bit too far. It's like Moxie is with my personal power ranking. She wasn't really a favorite character, but like she's definitely more towards the range of, well, if you die, I won't really care as much. Marcus really hasn't changed. He's really still the same, but like his character is just great because of who he is. His character is just great. You really can't. They say don't fix what isn't broken. If they change anything about him, that's just dumb. Again, that's just it. There's some characters that are really good, some characters that have just been ruined, some characters that have been changed and ruined. Like, again, like Lilith's character model, a little necessary. Tannis is still Tannis. Again, if she dies, I could care less. If she ends up being, some people predict that like she'll end up like turning on you near the end of the game. I wouldn't mind putting a bullet in her brain, to be honest, either. If I'm being really, really honest. But yeah, just overall, I can only give this game a 3.5 out of 5. Because there's a lot of unlikable characters, or characters that you really just don't care about. The story is really bad, but the gameplay is really good. The combat is really good. The different weapons are really good. Granted, the game is very buggy, but I'm not going to use the game's really buggy thing and take points away. Because the game's limited out for about 24 hours, for a little over 24 hours now. So I'm not going to use that against Gearbox. And the big reason why I'm not going to use that against them, at this point, it's like expected. Which is good and bad. Because at least you can't be pissed off about it. But at the same time, if that becomes the norm, like if it becomes normal for a game to be buggy on release, people aren't going to care for these midnight releases and stuff like that. But I'm not going to use it against Borderlands, mostly because this is only like my third ever midnight release that I've really actually ever like participated in. The other ones being Doom 2016. One other one, I can't remember the damn game. I want to say it was the Tomb Raider reboot, actually. Like the second game. I want to say it was Tomb Raider. I feel like it was Tomb Raider. But, overall, just, you know what? It was Black Ops 3. It was Black Ops 3. That's what it was. I don't know where I got Tomb Raider from. Probably because I really need to beat that Tomb Raider game. Yeah, just overall, there's nothing really else to say. I've said what I needed to say about the game. Once I get more through the game, I will let you know how I feel about the game. I'll give my final rating once I beat the game. I told my friends that, especially one of my best friends, you know who you are, in the comments. If you want to say hi, you can. That once he is able to get an Xbox and he gets the game, I'll play the game one more time. One more time. But there's two reasons why I don't want to get back to the game. One, because Maya's gone. Maya's gone. But the other reason is, again, the story is just really bad. It's cringy, it's cheesy, it's predictable. Now, I get that cheesy is part of Borderlands' charm. I mean, look at Borderlands 2. With all of its sex jokes and cheesy jokes and just cheesy, corny garbage that it throws at you. But Borderlands 3 ups that by 1,000,000. And I see why critics say stuff like, Borderlands 3 is basically just Borderlands 2 light. Borderlands 3 is essentially, a chore. Or Borderlands 3 just feels like every other shoot and loot ever. And I get why these, like, critics say that. I understand why. Because that's truly what it feels like sometimes. It feels like you're just playing like another shoot and loot game that's out there, except it just has the Borderlands name splashed all over it. Sometimes it really does feel like that. Sometimes it really does feel like a chore. Sometimes it really does feel like I'm just, aimlessly shooting it. And another thing I don't understand. Like, I get why I'm shooting these people, why I'm killing these people, because they're the enemy. But, like, why are they my enemy? Because these people, they support these people? Like, I don't feel like I have a reason to want to shoot these people that I'm shooting other than the fucking twins. Like, I know why I want them dead. I specifically want to shoot the one of them because they killed Maya. But, again, besides the point. Big reason is because I don't feel like I care about killing these people. Like, I could just let these people all walk away. I just let me at the assholes that are basically mind controlling you. I don't see why. I don't feel like I have a reason to care other than these guys want to, are, in my way to kill the real threat. That's really how it, fighting the enemies in terms of story feels like. Like, you guys are just in my way from the real threat. Whereas in Borderlands 2, you're the psychos. Those guys are just fucking crazy. But like the Hyperion enemies, they were all working together for one common goal. So one egotistical maniac can have a bunch of fucking power, and they are essentially going to use that power to control the world, and they're all promised power, which isn't gonna work out for them because one guy really has all the power, not them. It's just an illusion that they have power. There's no like, you don't feel like the enemies in this game were promised power. Like, they're just told to do something and they do it because they want attention. And again, it kind of feels like, the whole YouTube thing. Like, fans of famous YouTubers will do anything to get their favorite YouTuber's attention. That's kind of what this feels like. But these guys are only obeying their orders because they want their attention. I want to say it was the Team Liquid Discord that sent a meme. And it basically described Borderlands 3 as PewDiePie versus T-Series. You're PewDiePie, and then these guys are T-Series, and you're trying to stop T-Series from... Or you're trying to, like, get back your subscribers and take over, your spot as #1 from T-Series. That is what the meme was basically describing Borderlands 3 as. And I kind of agree. And I cannot unsee that either, but I kind of agree. Borderlands 3 truly just feels like PewDiePie versus T-Series in the form of a shoot and loot. And if I'm being, like, truly honest with you, that kind of sucks. Like, I was really hyped for this game. I truly was. I was really, really hyped for the game. I pre-ordered the game, the $100 version, pre-ordered the game. I was really, really hyped. And I'm bummed out that I'm sitting here doing this review of the game so far and telling you guys that this game might not be worth buying. Now, again, I'm not even through the entire game yet, so this all could be for nothing, and I could just be whining to you guys right now, and everything will be okay later in the game. Highly doubt that, but we'll see. Like, the game could get better. That's a big reason why I'm playing the game still. The game could just get better. A lot of people in my situation would write the game off and be like, this game fucking sucks, it's the worst, I'm done, and then just never play it ever again. I'm willing to give the game a chance. And I think everyone else should also give the game a chance. Because despite the fact that the story is really bad, the gameplay is still really good. And just because someone online says, hey, the game's bad, doesn't mean you shouldn't go ahead and try it out. A huge example of that one friend I keep referring to told me that Captain Marvel is an awful movie. I saw it, I thought it was a great movie. Slam me in the comments about that too, I dare you. But final thoughts before I fill you in on some stuff that I want to fill you in on. Gearbox, I know you're better than this. I know you're able to tell a good story, and you're able to give us a reason to care. If by the end of the game I still don't feel like I accomplished anything other than, yay, I just killed 2 annoying ass people, they're no longer in the Borderlands universe, I'm probably not good. Like, I know there's a true Vault Hunter mode, it's guaranteed an ultimate Vault Hunter mode. I doubt I'm gonna touch those modes. I truly believe that once I beat the game, the next time I'll play the game is when my homeboy finally is able to play Xbox and gets the game. And that's sad, because again, I was really, really hyped for the game. And the DLCs are going to come out, and I don't think I'm going to touch the DLCs for a while. I don't see Gearbox redeeming themselves. For many reasons, one reason in particular, but leaving that reason aside, in case you couldn't tell, I'm very pissed off about it. I truly don't think that the DLCs are gonna make up for the awful main story. I really don't. And again, I'm not saying the story's awful because Maya's dead. That's not all I'm saying. I just think that she didn't need to be killed off, or if you were gonna kill her off, make her and Ava look strong. Or make her look weak and give us a reason to be sympathetic. Because she's weak. Like, it's kind of predictable that by the end of the game, she's gonna become a siren. Like, it's almost guaranteed. Otherwise, Maya wouldn't have said anything. Like, it's kind of in a corner now where it's like, Ava becomes a siren, and I'm pissed because I called it. Like, there's no reason why she wouldn't have said it if it wasn't gonna happen. Or she doesn't become a siren by the end of the game. And then I'm pissed because not only was Maya's death for nothing, but we were just teased something that's not going to happen. Or that will happen, and she's going to take either the few DLCs in the next game. So that piece of information was then pointless, which again makes her death pointless. Because you know anything about Borderlands lore, there can only be so many sirens in the universe at once. So it'd make her death pointless. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation either way. And again, that's shitty storytelling. As someone that's aspiring to be a writer, someone that's currently writing a book, it's a very, very, very good book. At least I think so. It's about... It's kind of... it's kind of weird. Like... I'm not gonna lie. I am currently suffering from, the overused plot devices kind of thing. But it's essentially a war between deities, and then there's people in the middle of it. But the thing is the main focus isn't necessarily the people in the middle, it's the deities themselves. Like, one thing I've always noticed with stories like that, where it's gods fighting, and, it's a champion of a god versus a champion of a god, essentially, kind of story, and you have to watch the adventure of the champion of the good guy god. And, he defeats the bad god's champion, then the bad guy god dies. Like, with this book, it focuses more on the deities themselves. Like, you actually learn about the deities, not just, they're not super secretive. You have to, think about them. Like, the main characters are the deities, not so much the people in the middle. Kind of thing. Like, I'm trying not to do the whole thing where it's a deities champion versus a deities champion kind of thing. Like, it's going to lead up to the deities fighting, and the people in the middle are going to have to decide right then and there, not just they've already had their decision this whole time. They know whose side they're on. No, they're going to be forced to decide right then and there when the fight begins. Well, what's it going to be, fellas? Because gotta pick now, kind of thing. I know, I think it's going to be an interesting concept. If I don't continue writing that book, there is another book that I plan on writing. I don't know, because I'm only one chapter in on that book that I was just talking about. And I am starting to lose interest in it only because there's just so much that I feel has to be explained, but if you over explain something, it just I don't know, I feel like if you over explain something, it's like oversaturation in a way, kind of thing. But there's another book idea I might just start writing, and if I like that better, I might just try to combine the two ideas some way, maybe, I don't know. But the thing is, like, at least I'm willing to two things. One, at least I'm willing to admit that, you know, I'm not perfect, and I know that I fall into some of these categories. And it's kind of expected in storytelling at this point. But you gotta put a twist on it, or you gotta use it correctly. Like in math, using the same, like you can't use the same formula for everything in math. Okay, like that doesn't make sense. You can't use the same formula for everything in math. That's why there's so many different formulas for different things, for different situations. There's different formulas. You can't use, you know, the same recipe for different for different foods. You know, I can't use a recipe for a chocolate cake and expect to make a fucking pumpkin pie. You know, I can't use a recipe for that same chocolate cake and expect to make a fucking salad. You know, that's basically what I'm trying to say. There's different formulas for different things. Borderlands 3 suffers from using one formula and it tries to branch off into different things, but like you can't use that formula only can go so far before your story just becomes predictable. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. You could only do the same thing. The same thing can only be done over and over and over until it gets predictable. And then if you're wrong, you're pleasantly surprised. Like, oh, okay, that's actually interesting. But when you're right, you get very pissed off. And when it's to the point where, like, you know that you're right, and then it's just like, oh, who's surprised? Look at that. You know? Like, if he ever becomes a siren by the end of the game, I'm just gonna be like, oh boy. No fucking surprise, no way. And I'm not gonna care. The reason why I'm not gonna care is because I saw it coming. Well, there's another reason, but we're not gonna discuss that. But anyways, I'm done with this review. I'm sick of talking about this game. I want this game to get better, but I don't think it's going to. As of right now, it has to stand a 3.5 out of 5. Fight me in the comments if you want, as long as you... Oh, okay, I guess fighting can't really be civil. Talk to me in the comments if you want. If you want to be civil about it, we'll be civil about it. If you want to be an asshole about it in the comments, you'll never see the light in my comment section ever again, because I have a zero tolerance policy against assholes in my comment section. I honestly do. So if you want to discuss things in the comments, discuss things in the comments with me. You know, I truly think that using the same plot device over and over and over and over and over can only go so far. Nah, granted, Borderlands doesn't really... I can't really truly blame Borderlands for that. I'm gonna have to... That's a storytelling thing in general. But you have to figure out a way to put a twist on it. Like, that's why I'm trying to put a twist on it with the book that I'm writing. It's the typical deities fighting each other kind of concept, but it focuses more on the deities, not so much the people. Although the people do play an important role, the main focus is supposed to be the deities, not the people. I just think that if the story is going to be predictable, like if you know that you can't help it, and you truly believe that your story is going to be predictable, at least try to throw a left hook somehow. Like, I think being able to throw left hooks out of nowhere in storytelling makes storytelling really good. Especially when you pleasantly surprise someone. Don't just pure shock value doesn't really always get it done. Like, it shocked the hell out of me when I found out that Maya was dying, because I had it spoiled for me. But I knew what was coming, why she was dying, and it pissed me off, and it still pisses me off. But now I'm done. Now I'm done. I know I said I'm done earlier, but now I'm done. Before I get on a whole rant about why I think she should have died, that should just be a video in and of itself. It really should be. It probably will be. This video gets 10 likes. I'll make a video on its own of why I think Maya should not have died in Borderlands 3. Yeah, I'll try to make it as non-biased as possible, but no fucking promises. 10 likes is the goal, I guess. I don't know. 10 likes seem fair. I guess 10 likes seems fair. Now, I got... fucking shit, I got a lot of explaining to do. Where the hell have I been? Well, between trying to find time with work and... Well, for a while, I was trying to find a job to begin with. Then once I found a job, my schedule has just been an absolute train wreck. This is the first time in a while that I've actually had the chance to sit down and be like, you know what, I'm going to dedicate some time to a video. And that's probably going to be the case for like a while. Like, I'm probably only going to be able to upload on like Fridays and like Saturday nights and whatnot. That's probably the only way I'm going to be able to record. Well, actually, probably not even Saturdays because I work on Sunday, 11-8 usually, and that's just abysmal. Like, I'm about to go to bed, get like 8 or 9 hours of sleep, and then go to work for 6 hours. Which, I love my job, but holy hell. It's just, some days are really good, some days are just like, I need to get out of here kind of thing, you know? Like, there's some days where I'm like, you know, today was a really good day at work. And then there are some days where it's just like, really? I just drew 2 blood red elves in a row. Okay, that's cool. No, that's cool. That's cool. It's fine. But again, there's some days where it's just like, man, I'm just counting down the hours. I'm just counting down until I'm freaking out of here. You know, and it's just been rough so far, but so between all of that, I'm finally here, and I'm probably wondering, well, hopefully you're not wondering after my long rant about Final Fantasy 13, you know, why the whole name change and whatnot, but in case you don't know, I can give you the long answer, the short answer. If you want the short answer, join my Discord, link down below. We are now opening up to the public once again. So yeah, again, link down in the description to join. If you join, just let me know you joined through my channel, and you'll be all good. While the server is public, me and the moderators are usually a little like scared of people just randomly joining, because we do get people that just randomly join and they don't do anything, or they join, they say hi, and they start spamming. So give us a heads up that, hey, I joined from this video, you'll be all good. If you want the long answer, you'll get that answer if you subscribe. I mean, you should just subscribe anyways, because I'm awesome and I post, well, I'm going to start posting great TCG and gaming fun stuff content like this. I will be giving my update on Borderlands 3 once I beat the game. There's a lot of games that I've beaten recently that I want to give reviews on. I might start doing like gaming kind of like review kind of things. Like Crackdown 3. That might be my next review, Crackdown 3. Spoiler alert, that game was fantastic. The game was really good. The game was definitely not perfect, but that game was really good. So get ready for that review. That review is going to be fun. Some really fun stuff. I don't know. Like there's a lot of reviews that I think I want to do in the near future. Like that again, definitely Crackdown 3. I might do some reviews of some really old games. I might just sit and talk about some old games. Like, I got a PS2 and a bunch of old games recently. I might just start playing all of those games and just like reviewing all those old ass games. Like, I got like old ass Medal of Honor games. I got Quake 2. Okay, that's how old we're going. I own Quake 2 now. So yeah, like we're stepping into some territory of like old ass games. But anyways, with all that aside, um, there's some other content coming up soon. Again, I gotta get Project X organized. I gotta find a day. But again, work has just been, you know, I can't say it's been a hassle because I enjoy work, but there's some points where it is kind of a hassle. But, this really feels really good. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be eating and recording. I'm awful. But, at some point, it's probably going to be a Friday night. Or a Thursday night, actually, might be better. But I might get Project X organized. Well, actually, no, not Thursday night, because Thursday nights I work. That'd be a Friday morning. I'm so bad at scheduling. But, anyways, yeah. Project X will be coming soon, hopefully. I just gotta get the people involved ready. And, let them know that, hey, I'm ready. Well, not necessarily ready. But I guess I'm ready. I don't know. There's a lot of other stuff I probably need to explain. But if you have any questions, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions you want to get a hold of me quicker, again, join the Discord. Link in the description. Twitter, name in the description. Instagram, name in the description. All my socials are like pretty much the same thing. There's a lot of other stuff I should be talking about, but I guess I will announce this one other thing too. And if you've made it to this part of the video, you are honestly an absolute unit. I am trying to organize a podcast where I am going to basically move all of my rants, all this other fun stuff that I'm planning. Well, not all of it, but some of this fun stuff that I'm planning to do in a podcast. So, and we're basically going to be talking about gaming. We're going to be talking about other fun stuff. And one of the big topics we're probably going to hit is Borderlands 3. Now, when is this podcast going to drop? My goal is next week. My goal is that next week, whether I have to run the whole show solo or I'm going to be running the show with a partner or whatnot, I don't know. But the goal is next week. If you want to link the podcast channel, that will be in the description. The first episode will be posted here and on there. And possibly even live streamed. What other information can I really give you? I mean, I mostly post my updates on Twitter, if I'm ever on Twitter, and on Discord. I usually update you guys a lot on the Discord. I don't emphasize the Discord a lot. Like, that's where I mostly am. Either on Discord or I'm on Instagram. I'm really not in any other place but those two places anymore. Like, I'm not on Twitter much that often. Surprisingly. But yeah, any other questions you guys got? Let me know in the comments, I guess. I don't know. I'm going to bed. I'm going to click on this video. I'm going to drag it over to the icon. I'm going to press upload and publish, whatever the hell the button is, and I'm going to leave my computer on and I'm going to go to bed because I have work in the morning, and by the time you see this video, I'll probably be at work even. Who knows? I don't know. I mean, I'll know. But peace out. I don't know. I really don't have a clever lightning outro. I guess I don't know. I guess you could say that hey, at least I'm back. I guess you could say that lightning's returned. Okay, that joke was so bad and just so unwarranted. I'm done.